paper right here is EFT enrollment form for providers, vendors, and contractors.
For DHS?
Yeah. I filled one out before, but I didn't have the corresponding provider number, so I wasn't able to turn it in at the time. And unfortunately, the copy that I actually filled out before, I don't know where I put it because I have a mountain of paperwork from everything else.
Well, you're going to need to get yourself a filing cabinet.
I would, but unfortunately that would require me to buy one, and well, we all know what happened to my money. Rhymes with skinhead. Anyways.
I missed that. I'm not sure what.
I know, that's a joke.
Oh.
That's what us people who've been attacked by skinheads call a joke. It's not really funny. Anyways. I did the home care choice program, in which
Yes.
I passed the testing, and I've been welcomed into the home care choice program.
Is that's for HUD?
No.
Okay,
actually,
this is for home care. This
no,
is work.
This is work.
Okay,
This is work
okay,
related.
okay.
The work search thing, I'm pretty sure you guys would want to go over first because that's what you guys are all about, the whole work search development. And then the home search development, which is more than likely going to needed to be discussed because that really, really, really goes hand in hand with this whole home care provider thing.
So what you're talking about is your employment goal. You're talking about...
No, my employment goal has been enriched even more. I've gained a new certification.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
instead of me being just a home care provider, I'm now a home care provider and a home care choice provider. So now my range has been slightly widened.
How did you go about getting that?
Remember in the in the series of attachments in your email, one of them is a screenshot of the Oregon Home Care Commission webpage, and it's a screenshot of my profile. And on the very top of the profile, it'll give you my name, my profile number, my profile home care provider number, badge number, and then it'll give you like another series of numbers, which is basically I guess a badge number, whatnot, addition. The home care choice program is another certification in which an orientation and testing was needed in order to unlock that, in which it would say available to work. You have to read the thumbnail and actually fully understand that, but it's all included there. But the home care choice provider enrollment was a testing to gain a further understanding in relationship towards the work that I'm doing.
Okay.
In which the testing, went over basic knowledge needs stuff that, if you go to the doctor, if you have ever been to the doctor, you've received medication, you've ever been sick, and you've had to take care of yourself sick, let alone you have children. You have children, Susan?
Do I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when your children have been sick, you've had to take care of them. Basic things, common knowledge of how you've taken care of children. So, for those of us who've taken care of someone else other than ourselves, let alone ourselves, because it turns out the home care program, your experience for yourself also counts towards work experience.
Sure.
Let alone, if you're disabled, that's even more experience.
So you took the test and you passed it?
I took the test and I passed it. I actually passed it with a rather high degree.
Good.
And
I just want to be clear, you have done a great job taking the initiative on your own. You are doing this stuff really independently of our developing a plan yet. We still don't have you in an employment goal plan. I really want to give you credit for doing all this stuff.
yeah, and I was
For your own benefit, yeah.
hoping to hear of a plan because you know what? This wouldn't be the first time I've had to visit a DHS vocational rehab. Alan, as me and you have talked several times, who used to condescend on me completely about the whole, well, I don't think you have the initiative to get up out of your home and look for a job, just to find out I turned in an application to every single employment place, business in Baker City more than once in one season. In fact, every season in that town up until the McDonald's job was landed, Sunridge job was landed, Baker Truck Corral was landed, Dollar Tree, Mayday. These are all the jobs that I had, and because of my race, lost. Once again, go talk to the, unemployment department. They will back up this because no one should be called what I've been called and be chased around and basically be told, well, we got a family member that needs a job. We only hired you because of affirmative action, which me and you've discussed. Now, with Alan, was the whole idea of, like I said, after the whole 2010 attack, you guys sent me on a witch hunt with what little money I had, and I wasn't getting unemployment. I wasn't getting any funding from the state from being attacked by the skinheads, and let alone stopped by that town. Cops were not helping. There were no charities. There was no GoFundMe page. There was no funding, crowdfunding, sourcing page at all. You have to sign and declare on taxes in order to set those pages up. So you guys can contact the IRS, and I can sign a little release form for that to show that there was never anything ever established. I was left to fend for myself, which, like I said, I came to you guys immediately trying to get help, mostly to get the hell out of this area because it's 100% white, basically. 1% of one race does not really count as that race being there. So, taking the initiative to search for a job here, I don't need any kind of gratification for it. That's just rude. I mean, you guys sent me around with a dead resume, knowing that I wasn't going to get ever hired because of being stopped at all my previous workplaces, being harassed there. None of those general managers doing their jobs and telling these people, you're not actually here
I
to,
don't know if we've
shop.
done that, but the reason I came in today is because we have a request to send your file on to Salem. So you must have put in a request to have the client assistance program review your file. And so what I did, Nick, is sat down with Fran to just kind of look at where we're at before we send that file forward.
Well, it's not just that file. Apparently, I got a letter from them asking for permission to review, I guess, all sorts of files, and I said, all right.
Yeah, and so so we're in the process of kind of getting your file ready to ship off to Salem to let them take a
they're going to look at that file. They're going to look at Alan McCandless's work. They're going to look at a lot of stuff.
The old files in there.
They're going to review past videos, past recordings of all talks between me, you, Alan McCandless, me, you, and her.
Right. And so I reviewed kind of where we're at today. There are a couple of things I pointed out to Fran this morning. We just sat down this morning and looked at it real quickly. Looks like your last file closed when you got your Social Security disability, and that Fran sent you for benefits planning, or Terry.
Somebody sent you for
Well,
benefits.
the last file closed for a lot of things, and not just benefits planning and the Social Security. It was more or less along the lines of, I wasn't ready mentally. I'm still ticked off about this area and having to be forced to live in this area, and let alone having people try to talk me into living in this area continuously. Mm-hmm. And that's why, at that time, when I got my Social Security, it was immediately deemed that I needed vacation from this area.
When did you get your Social Security?
I got my Social Security apparently in 2013.
And did you take a vacation?
I took a vacation from this area.
And where'd you go?
I went to Portland, Salem, Eugene, all throughout Washington, California. I didn't want anything to do with Eastern Oregon. I mean, the whole issue is this. When I first met DHS of Eastern Oregon, I came clean to you guys. I used to be in foster care. My foster parents, nor has any of my birth parents ever did so much as to raise their kids right. We never really got much of an education as to what the real world was. We had to find out on our own. I had to find out in the worst way, in Baker City. The stuff I went through in Baker City, some of that stuff I read about. The rest of it I just found out about in Baker City, between Baker City and LeGrand.
Can I ask a question? Just so were you in foster care in Baker City?
No, I was in foster care in California.
Oh, okay.
I had to run away from a highly abusive parent in Nevada and join the carnival, in which when the carnival ended,
Okay.
I was here in Oregon. And a little bit of loose studying, I came across Blue Mountain Community College and the fact that rent was really small. What wasn't advertised is the demographic and the crime rate and what's going on in this area. You know, it's not like Baker City tells people, hey, we're a town in which we have 3 black people. You know they're running for America's best town right now.
Right.
Baker City is?
Yeah, and word is quite a few people have actually got up and, you know, I have a copy of that newspaper. You have to imagine a lot of people have a copy of that newspaper. I got emails over the weekend of people going, hey, did you know this is happening? We're going to be sending this company copies of our newspaper. You should too.
You know, as a parent, Nick, it's ruined your ability to trust.
And
white
no,
people.
it's not ruined my ability to trust white people. It's ruined my ability to trust Eastern Oregon. It hasn't ruined my ability to function in Eastern Oregon. It's ruined the ability to be functional. I mean, I'm involuntarily secluded.
And that's...
I'm involuntarily secluded. I mean, to go out in public in this area is this. When you go to Walmart, do you get followed around the store when you go shopping?
I don't.
I do. Do you know how often I go shopping at that store? As much as you do. Do you get followed around Safeway? And you're from here. I get followed around Safeway. You know, I have 2 service dogs who are actually certified service dogs. You know how much
What are they?
the word is shit I got from my service dogs? Because apparently black people don't have service dogs. When you go to other places, everyone has a service dog.
Mm-hmm. That was something I asked Fran to ask you about today, was your service dogs. How are they prescribed? Are they prescribed for a particular...
They're prescribed for a number of things. Mainly for the simple fact of, over the years of dealing with this area, I've developed a tremor that turns into a seizure. And that is brought on by, oh my God. If you thought foster care was bad, and I'm not even going to scratch the surface of what happened then, but put it this way, it was so bad, I moved to an area full of Ku Klux Klan members.
To get away from them.
And then when I found out I moved to an area full of Ku Klux Klan members and tried to get help to move away, unfortunately, I got 0 help and ended up in an area full of basically the same thing.
What's preventing you from relocating?
Aside from the part where every single time I've tried to raise the money, members of your community have done a lot to sabotage that. And would you like me to list this stuff? When I first got my driver's license, and the very first vehicle I owned was that red Chevy pickup, which Alan McCandless, I know Alan McCandless, I tell you about it, because how did I get the engine for that truck? It came through your office.
It was probably, I wasn't the supervisor then.
Okay, well, it came through the office.
Because I don't
DHS
usually, I
office.
wouldn't probably approve
Okay.
it.
Well,
For anybody, I have a...
For
yeah.
work, in order for me to actually be able to transport myself, I had to have a vehicle. In order for me to have the vehicle,
Did you have the job before you
I
put the engine
I
in the truck?
I not only got the job, but I had to bet with Alan. The bet was this: either I could raise either I could raise money by illegal means, which is that's the way that the town forces you to work, or I can go and get this job in which very quickly you're going to have to understand that I'm going to be working at poverty levels. My hours are going to be completely different from everybody else's, as in I'm going to have less. I will never ever get a raise no matter how hard I work. I will always have proof of how hard I work, and yet I will never have a raise. Alan
That's the
found,
lack of trust.
Alan found, no. It's not the lack of trust. It was more like after McDonald's, another job, and this job, I had learned. And I had gotten instructions from several key professionals that you need to have this talk with Alan McCandless, and this is how it should go. And these people work in employment.
Can I interrupt and ask you a question about your benefits planning? Have you gotten the summary results from your meeting with Jennifer Bonnell, who kind of evaluated your Social Security income and gave you a printout of how much you
Yeah.
can earn?
Yeah, you asked me that at a previous meeting.
Yeah, we don't have a copy in the file yet. And I
If
asked
I were to dig that,
Brandon.
if I were to dig that up, it would take me a while.
So let's get a new release today so that we can get that documentation and figure out how much you can earn.
Because last time it was talked about, it was about 700 and something, and since Social Security did not go up, I'm pretty sure it's still the same.
Same.
Yeah, which, depending on, what kind
Right.
of, work it is, it's still part-time work, even though with Social Security, you can only work part-time work anyways. And I've got back deformities. I've got something called curved back syndrome, which I can only guess has something to do with my spine, because right now I've got what feels like, those little barbecue pitchforks they use when you're barbecuing? I got someone constantly jabbing that into a lot of my C8 through C6.
See, no, that's what I thought, that he had back-related issues. I don't have, you don't
I've
have
got-
that documentation in there, do you?
I got a new doctor. See, the thing is my old doctor, when I lived in Baker, I had to deal with Charles Hoffman, who is an outspoken person who tried running for mayor several times in Baker and lost. Very outspoken, says what's on his mind, even though it's quickly offensive. He doesn't care. He's in a position where he thinks he can. He has his own office. His name's on the wall. He has his own business cards. He drives a pretty bright yellow Chevy Camaro, just like Bumblebee from Transformers, the new movie.
I haven't seen it.
Right, right.
But,
So
I'll put it on my watch
when
list.
my jaw was wired shut after the attack, this man made it a point to make jokes about my jaw being wired shut. A lot of
That's
jokes.
your doctor?
That's the doctor in Baker City who thought the shit was funny.
Who's your new doctor?
My doctor is McNair. He's out of Hermiston.
And will he
McNair.
have that documentation on your back so that we can address that
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
planning for you?
and that's just like, Adrian has the documentation on my knees missing cartilage. And guess where all that cartilage went? Alan McCandless and his little witch